When autumn comes, the air becomes cooler and the light feels softer. The green leaves slowly change to red, yellow, and brown. One by one, they begin to fall. This is something we see every year, but maybe we don't always take the time to think about what it means. A leaf falls because it is time, not because the tree is weak or because the wind is cruel. The leaf has lived its season. It has taken sunlight and given shade. It has danced in the breeze. Now it lets go. There is no anger, no fear, no sadness in this, just a quiet change. We often hold on too tightly to things in life, to memories, to plans, to worries. But the falling leaf reminds us that sometimes letting go is natural. It is not something to fear. It is something to accept with peace. There is a kind of beauty in watching leaves fall. They do not rush. They do not fight. They simply drift down, slowly, gently. We can learn from this. When we feel change in our lives, we don't need to panic. We don't need to stop it. We can let it come, as the leaves do. This small act of nature is not loud. It does not demand attention. But if we watch carefully, we can hear what it is telling us. Change is part of life. It is not the end. It is only the next season beginning. So, when you see leaves falling this year, pause for a moment. Take a breath. Let the quiet message touch your heart. The leaves are not lost. They are returning to the earth, where new life will grow. In autumn, we often notice the leaves, their colors, their fall, their beauty. But have you ever looked at the tree itself? Standing tall, with its branches becoming bare, the tree shows us something very important. It teaches us how to let go without fear. The tree does not try to keep the leaves. It does not hold on, even though it gave them life. It does not cry when they fall. It knows the season is changing, and it trusts the process. The tree understands that letting go is not a loss. It is a part of being alive. Sometimes we think strength means holding on. But true strength can also be in knowing when to release. We may carry heavy thoughts, old pain, or broken dreams. Like the tree, we can choose to open our hands and let them go. The tree remains. It does not fall apart. Even as it stands bare in the cold wind, it still reaches upward. It knows that this time of emptiness is not forever. It waits. It accepts. It prepares for what will come next, even if it cannot yet see it. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means making space. Space for quiet, space for rest, space for something new. The tree does not rush this. It simply allows. If you feel tired from holding too much, look at the tree in autumn. It is not ashamed to be bare. It is not afraid of what others might see. It trusts that what it needs will return in time. And maybe we can trust that too. Letting go is not weakness. It is the beginning of peace. Like the tree, we can let the old fall and still remain whole. When the wind blows through the trees in autumn, it carries a different voice. It is not loud like a storm, nor soft like a summer breeze. It speaks with a calm strength. It moves the branches, shakes the leaves, and reminds us that change is always in motion. The autumn wind does not ask for permission. It comes when it's time, moving through forests and fields, touching everything in its path. But it does not destroy. It clears. It makes way for something new. This wind does not fight, it flows. If you stand quietly and listen, you may notice how the wind sounds like a whisper, not a command, not a shout, just a whisper that says, it is time. Time to release, time to move, time to feel what is passing. The wind does not hurry you. It simply invites you to notice. Often in life, we are surrounded by noise, voices telling us to do more, get more, be more. But the wind of autumn tells us the opposite. It tells us to pause, to feel, to listen. You don't need to chase anything. You are allowed to stand still, like the trees, and feel the wind pass through you. This kind of wind does not carry answers, but it carries space for you to breathe. It carries the scent of leaves, the sound of change, and the quiet strength of nature. Let it touch your heart. Let it remind you that change doesn't have to be harsh. It can come like the autumn wind, cool, gentle, and clear. And when it passes, you may find you are lighter, quieter, and more at peace than before. Have you ever walked through a forest in autumn with no music, no phone, no voices, just the sound of your own steps on the fallen leaves? In that quiet space, something special happens. You begin to hear what cannot be spoken. You begin to understand what cannot be explained with words. Nature teaches us many things, but it does so without speaking. The trees, the sky, the changing colors, all are silent, yet full of meaning. There is no noise in their message, only stillness. And in that stillness, we can learn. In the silence of nature, there is no rush. No one is late. No one is behind. Everything happens at the right time. Leaves fall when they are ready. Winds blow when it is time to move. Nothing is forced. This quiet rhythm shows us a different way to live, without pressure, without fear of missing something. We often think that wisdom comes from books or teachers, but sometimes the deepest wisdom comes from simply being present. Watching the way the sunlight touches the ground, noticing how a branch bends but does not break, feeling the cool air on your skin. Silence does not mean nothing is happening. It means everything is happening, but in a deeper way. It gives your heart room to feel. It gives your mind a break from all the noise. It allows your spirit to rest. So the next time you are outside, try to listen to the silence. Let it teach you, not with words, but with presence. In this quiet, you may find an answer you didn't know you were looking for, not from outside, but from deep within. Nature speaks clearly to those who are willing to listen quietly. Many people feel sad when the leaves fall, when the flowers fade, or when the days grow shorter. But in these changes, there is a quiet kind of beauty, a beauty that comes not from lasting forever, but from being here only for a short time. Nothing in nature stays the same. A mountain may stand for a long time, but even it will change one day. The ocean shifts with each wave. The moon waxes and wanes. A cherry blossom lives only for a few days, but those few days are enough to move the heart. It is beautiful, not in spite of its short life, but because of it. We often want to keep things the same. We want good moments to last, and we fear the ones we love might leave us. But life was never meant to be frozen. It was meant to be lived, moment by moment, just like the falling leaf that dances for a few seconds before it touches the ground. Impermanence is not something to fear. It is what gives each moment its deep value. If we knew something would last forever, we might not see how precious it truly is. But when we understand that everything is passing, we can appreciate what we have right now, more fully, more honestly. A warm smile, a quiet evening, the golden light of the setting sun. These are gifts that come and go, and that is what makes them beautiful. So instead of holding on tightly, we can open our hands. We can watch the seasons change and know that each one has its own beauty. Nothing stays, and in that truth, everything becomes more sacred, more tender, and more real. Autumn is always moving. The leaves fall, the winds shift, the days grow shorter. Everything around us is in motion. Yet if you sit beneath a tree on a quiet afternoon, you may notice something surprising. In the middle of all this change, there is a deep stillness. It is not the stillness of nothing happening. It is the stillness of peace. the kind that comes when things are allowed to be just as they are. The tree does not fight the falling leaves. The sky does not try to stop the clouds. Everything is moving, yet nothing is rushed. This is a lesson we often forget. In our lives, we are always trying to do something, fix something, plan something. We move from one thing to the next, always reaching, always thinking. But sometimes we need to stop, not because we are giving up, but because we are making space to be still. Change does not always need action. Sometimes the best way to face change is to sit quietly with it, to feel it, to let it pass through you, like the wind through the trees. In that stillness, you may find strength you didn't know you had. Stillness is not about doing nothing. It's about being fully here, even as things shift around you. You are not ignoring the change. You are allowing it. You are breathing with it. You are learning to stay steady, even as the world moves. If life feels uncertain right now, think of the tree in autumn. It stands tall. It loses its leaves. It feels the wind. But at its center, it is calm. You too have that center. You too can find stillness in the middle of change. There is a special kind of peace that lives beneath the trees in autumn. The ground is soft with fallen leaves, and each step makes a gentle sound. The light comes through the branches in golden pieces. It feels like walking through a memory, slow and calm. On this quiet path, there is no need to hurry. The world outside may be busy, but here, everything moves gently. The trees do not rush. The leaves do not ask questions. They simply fall, rest, and become part of the earth again. It is a reminder that we too can slow down. When you walk this kind of path, something inside you begins to soften. Your thoughts quiet down. Your worries become smaller. You begin to feel more like yourself, more connected to the world around you. You do not need to solve anything or become anyone. You just walk. You just breathe. Some people think peace comes from doing everything right. But sometimes, peace is found in simply being with what is. No need to fix. No need to explain. Just the soft light, the cool air, and the sound of leaves under your feet. If you ever feel lost, return to a path like this. Let the trees guide you. Let the stillness hold you. Let the quiet show you that you are not alone. Nature has walked this way for thousands of years. It welcomes you without asking anything in return. Even if you walk only for a few minutes, that is enough. The quiet path beneath the trees is always there, waiting, and every step you take on it brings you a little closer to peace, a little closer to home. In the middle of a busy day, have you ever stopped and done nothing? Not checking messages, not thinking about your next task, not even planning what's next, just sitting, breathing and being. We are often told that we must always do something, that being productive means being valuable. But the falling leaves do not try to be useful. They do not rush to prove anything. They fall gently and rest, and still they are beautiful. Still, they matter. Sometimes, the most important thing you can do is simply be. No action, no effort, just a moment where you allow yourself to exist without judgment, like a leaf resting on the ground, quiet and complete. In autumn, nature shows us how to pause. The trees stop growing. The animals move more slowly. The sun sets earlier. Everything becomes softer. It's an invitation for us too to slow down. You don't need to be anyone special to deserve a moment of peace. You don't need to achieve anything first. Right now, as you are enough. Let that thought sit with you, like warm sunlight through a window. Let it ease the pressure you may feel. Even just a few breaths taken with full attention can remind you of who you are beneath all the noise. That place inside you that does not need to win or fix or impress. That place is always there, waiting quietly, like the forest in fall. So take this moment. Let it be simple. Let it be quiet. Let it be yours. You don't need to do anything more. Sometimes just being is more than enough. In the rush of everyday life, we are often told to move faster, to work harder, to think quicker, to get ahead. But nature does not follow this rule. When autumn arrives, everything begins to slow down. The air cools, the animals prepare for rest, and the trees release their leaves without hurry. There is wisdom in this slowing down. It is not laziness, it is not weakness. It is knowing the right pace for the right time. Just as the earth rests before the next season, we too need moments of quiet, of less doing and more being. When we slow down, we begin to notice things we often miss. The shape of a single leaf, the soft color of the sky at dusk, the quiet feeling in the chest when the world grows still. These are small things, but they carry great meaning. Moving slower allows the heart to catch up with the body. It gives space for feelings to rise, to pass, and to soften. It allows thoughts to settle like dust in calm air. In this gentle space, you may see your life more clearly, not as a race, but as a path with its own rhythm. It can be uncomfortable at first. We are used to noise, speed, and pressure. But slowing down is not stepping back. It is stepping in, into your own life, into the present moment, into the truth of what matters most. Autumn teaches us that life is not always about growth. Sometimes it is about rest, about release, about making space for the next chapter to unfold. Let yourself follow the season's rhythm. You don't have to rush. There is deep wisdom in taking your time. If you look closely at the seasons, you may notice they are not separate from us. They are not just changes in weather or color. They reflect something deeper, something about our own journey through life. Spring brings beginnings. It is the season of hope and new energy. Summer is full of growth and movement, long days and strong light. Then comes autumn, a time of release and reflection. And finally winter, a season of stillness, rest, and quiet renewal. These seasons are not only outside us, they live within us too. There are times in our lives when we feel full of light, like summer. There are times we must let go, like autumn. Times when we start again, like spring. And times when we must rest and turn inward, like winter. When we forget this, we may feel lost. We may wonder why things are changing, why something is ending, or why we feel the need to slow down. But nature reminds us, this is part of the cycle. It is not wrong. It is not a failure. It is simply your season. You are not always meant to bloom. Sometimes you are meant to rest, to release, to prepare. Just like the tree does not grow all year long, we too must honor the natural rhythm of our lives. When you feel a shift inside, when your energy changes, or your heart feels heavy, pause and ask, what season am I in? And what does this season ask of me? You may find that life becomes easier, gentler, and more meaningful when you stop fighting the cycle and start flowing with it. Just like the seasons, you are always changing. And that is not something to fear. It is something to trust. As autumn leaves fall, they do not cling to the branch. They let go and drift slowly to the ground. There is no struggle, no anger, no regret. They simply release what has already passed. In this quiet act, there is a lesson for all of us. We often carry the past with us like a heavy bag. Memories, mistakes, missed chances, words we wish we had said or not said. These things stay in our minds and hearts. Sometimes we hold them so tightly that we forget how to breathe without them. But what if we allowed the past to drift, like the falling leaves? Not to erase it, not to pretend it never happened, but to stop holding it so tightly. to let it rest, to let it become part of the ground beneath us, something we can stand on, not something we have to carry. Letting go of the past does not mean forgetting. It means releasing the pain, the judgment, the weight. It means saying, "This happened, and now I continue." Just like the tree lets go of its leaves, trusting that new ones will grow in time, we too can trust that new moments will come. You may find it difficult at first. That is okay. Take one small memory, one small hurt, and let it fall. Watch it drift away in your mind. No need to push. Just allow, gently. As more leaves fall, the tree becomes lighter. It does not look back. It prepares for rest, for renewal. In the same way, we can make space inside ourselves, space for peace, space for today, space for what is yet to come. Let the past rest on the ground behind you. You are not what you've been through. You are who you are becoming. There is a kind of peace that does not come from gaining more, but from releasing what we no longer need. It is quiet, gentle, and deep. Like the moment when a leaf, after holding on through sun and storm, finally lets go and falls to the ground without a sound. We are often taught to hold on to people, to goals, to identities, even when they no longer feel right. We fear that if we let go, we will lose something important. But sometimes, holding on hurts more than letting go. Letting go does not mean failure. It means understanding that life is always moving, that what served us once may not serve us now, that what felt true before may not fit who we are today. And that is okay. The tree does not try to glue its leaves back on. It does not ask the wind to stop. It stands with open branches, letting what needs to fall, fall. And in that openness, it becomes more free, more real. When we stop holding so tightly, when we allow people, plans, and even parts of ourselves to move on, we create space, space for rest, space for new beginnings, space for peace. This kind of peace is not loud, it does not shout, it feels like a long breath, like standing still on a cool autumn day, watching the leaves fall, and knowing deep inside that everything is okay, just as it is. You don't have to let go of everything at once. Just loosen your grip a little. Trust that not everything needs to be held. And see what peace might come when your hands, your heart, and your mind are finally free to rest. In the cool air of autumn, with the leaves slowly falling and the world growing quiet, we are reminded of something simple yet powerful, the present moment. It is always here, waiting for us to return. So often, our minds are far away. We think about what has already happened, or worry about what might come next. We replay old memories or imagine future problems. In doing so, we miss what is right in front of us. The sound of wind through the trees, the color of the sky, the feeling of being alive now. The present does not ask us to be perfect. It does not require us to have answers or to be free of pain. It only asks us to show up, to breathe, to notice, and to be kind to ourselves as we do. Autumn shows us how to return gently, not with force, not with pressure, but with softness. A fallen leaf does not demand attention. A golden sunset does not wait for the perfect viewer. These things simply are, and so are you. You don't need to escape your thoughts or fix everything in your life to be present. You only need to pause, to feel your breath, to look around, to touch the moment with your full attention, even if only for a few seconds. In that small space of presence, there is calm, there is clarity, there is enough. The future will come in its time. The past has already done its part. But now, this moment is yours. Let yourself return without guilt, without hurry. The present is not a test. It is a homecoming, and every time you arrive, the world opens its arms and says, "You are here. That is enough." As the last leaf drifts to the ground and the forest prepares for rest, we too reach the quiet end of this journey. The air is still, the light is soft, and in this gentle pause, something ancient and peaceful can be felt, like a whisper from the trees themselves. This whisper does not speak in words, it speaks in feeling, a sense that even in change we are safe. Even in endings there is meaning, and even in silence we are held by something greater than ourselves. You have walked with me through the falling leaves, the soft winds, the bare trees, and the open skies. Perhaps along the way, a thought touched your heart. Perhaps something quiet within you began to breathe more freely. This is not the end. It is only a return to yourself, to the present, to what truly matters. Like the forest in autumn, you do not need to be full of answers. You only need to be here, fully and gently. That is enough. Before we part, I would like to express my sincere thanks. To all who have liked this video, subscribed to the channel, left a thoughtful comment, sent a super thanks, or joined as a channel member, your kindness and support mean more than I can say. I am deeply grateful that you chose to spend this time here, in quiet reflection. May the calm of the falling leaves stay with you, and may you carry this stillness into your day, into your heart, and into all the seasons of your life. Until we meet again, take gentle care.